folks, welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Don Father and I'm about to do a reaction now for our channel member, Dragon Lady. Thanks very much, Dragon Lady, for your support and this request. It's Ray, Ray, Super Ray, 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 Super Ray, 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 Super Ray, Super Ray Stevens with the haircut song. And it's the music video as well, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Ray Stevens, of course, about a lot of his prime songs would have been released in the 70s, around, they got to 50 years ago, put it that way, over half a century ago. But at that time, he was an observational, comedic genius. Let's be honest here, he picked up on things that were happening at that current time and made jokes on them, light-hearted, funny songs, which I really love to watch and review. And also, what I will say is they're timeless as well, because there's quite a lot of young ones I know that have said they grew up on it and they simply love Ray Stevens. So it just goes to show good comedy is timeless. But some of the songs would have been based on, as I was saying, stuff that would have happened at that period of time, but it doesn't make them not funny now, if you know what I mean. Anyway, the link to the original video will be in the description section below. Check out Ray Stevens' channel and subscribe. The man's a gentleman. He does leave comments on the videos when I've been doing reactions, which is really an honour to be able to talk to the great man himself. I hope you're well, Ray, and your family, and I hope you'll enjoy this reaction and I do it justice. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share, and put the bell onto this channel also. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Anyway, you know the drill by now. No more talking. Let's go.
When you get a haircut, be sure to go back home. When you get a haircut, get a barber you haven't known. Since you were a little bitty boy sitting in a booster chair, or you might look like Larry Moe or Curly if a stranger cuts your hair.
True.
Well, Butte, Montana, just passing through. One thing I just had to do, had to get a haircut, and I was worried for my hair. Oh, I had a feeling of impending doom the minute I stepped into that room. Laid my eyes upon that barber chair.
Skin remover.
It was a macho barber shop. Hair dryers were mounted on a rifle rack. No mirrors. The barber chair was a Peterbilt. Barber walked in, he was huge, 7 feet tall, 300 pounds of spring steel and rawhide, wearing a hard hat and chewing a cigar. Had on a t-shirt that said, "I hate musicians." Threw me in the chair, sneered, and said, "What'll it be, pal?" Now, a lot of people would be intimidated in a situation like this. I was not. I am what I am, play my piano and sing my little songs. I looked him right in the eye and I said, "I'm a logger. Yeah, just in from Coos Bay, Oregon. Been chopping trees. Quite possibly the toughest man in the entire world." He said, "Oh, right." He gave me a haircut. I walked out of there, friends, my hair was gone. Made Kojak look like William Lee Golden. Yeah, had a tremendous craving to operate heavy equipment. Now, you might think that that Butte, Montana haircut's the worst any man could ever get. Wrong. Well, a few months later, I was way down south. Grits and gravy and a hush show mouth. Hair so long, I'm starting to look like a man in drag. It was then that the sheriff walked up and said, "Hey, boy, you got too much hair on that head. You better get yourself a haircut or a dog tag." Well, when I stepped into the shop, I realized immediately that I was dealing with a born-again barber. Don't see too many barber shops with a steeple. Had an organ in the corner, a choir. An usher led me to the barber chair. The barber walked in and started saying grace. "Oh, Lord, for these haircuts we're about to receive, may we be truly thankful. Dominus possum pox probiscus post-mortem et tu brute puella carborundum." He was sort of half Baptist and half Catholic. Maybe a sarcastic. Anyway, he started cutting my hair and preaching at the same time. I mean, he's a wild man. Scissors and razors are flying around my head. He's talking about the evils of dancing and drinking and liquor and sex and wild women and music and the music business. Then he looked down at me and said, "What do you do for a living?" Now, I'm not ashamed of what I do for a living. Work in bars and casinos, around liquor and wild women. Hey, I just play my piano, sing my little songs. I looked him right in the eye and I said, "I run this church for loggers." Oh, when you get a haircut, be sure to go back home. When you get a haircut, get a barber you have known. Since you were a little bitty boy sitting in a booster chair, or you might look like Larry Moore Curly if a stranger cuts your hair. Oh yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. He's not wrong, is he? We had an Iraqi fella that was cutting the hair. He was that bad at haircuts, we called him the Baghdad Butcher. Now the Baghdad Butcher, he would give you everything but what you asked for. My friends would go in, 2 at the back and sides just tidied up on top there, chief. They'd come out with a shaved head. People were coming out with flat tops. People were losing their sides. He didn't care. He just decided on the time how ruthless he was going to be with whoever was in the seat next. He was brutal. I've also had people giving me haircuts. And one thing I hate when I'm getting the back of my head shaved is it's not tapered. You know, with the line of your hair. Taper it, tidy it up, go around the edges right. Is when you go to a new barber's and they cut it square at the back. Don't like that. Not that it matters now because I'm losing it. All my hair's falling out my head now. But the message is right. Always stick to the same barber because you do not know what they're going to be like or what you're going to get. You could say 2 at the back and sides, fella, and just tidy it up on the top. Before you know it, they've cut your hair flat. They've shaved it on the top. You've asked for it tidied, or they've got the thinning scissors and just Edward scissor hands the hell out of it, and you've ended up with hardly any hair on the top. And you're actually, when they show you that mirror, what is that thing? They hold that mirror at the back of your neck, and you're looking in the other mirror, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's great, isn't it? That's great, isn't it?" But you're actually going red and you're starting to sweat because you really don't like it, and the actual realisation has just popped into your head that you're going to have to walk around with this barbaric butcher job on your head. You look like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards, or you've just been went over with a McAllister lawnmower over the top of your skull. It does not look good. So as Ray says, when you get a haircut, go straight home, unless you've went to a tried and tested person who cuts your hair on a regular basis and you can rely on them and they're not sticking the hand in and they're not looking at you. You always get those ones as well that price it, say, for America for example, $9. So you give them $10 so they can get their tip. They design it so you tip them to the whole amount. I know tipping's quite a big thing in America with bar staff and stuff like that there. In the UK we tip, but it's not sort of the set way the wages would have worked. I know for bar staff they would have been looking at you like, "Where's my tip?" in America. But their wages have now went up was the last thing I heard, and they don't need tips. But you still give them tips anyway because it's become a cultural thing. But in the UK we'll tip, but it's not something that is almost that you have to do. But they price it in such a way that they get their thing as well. So the worst ones to go to are hairdressers. To get a barber cut in a hairdressers from a predominantly hairdressing salon. You want a haircut, you're a man, you want to go to a barber, somebody who gives short back and sides and cuts it, no nonsense, no frills, a good old fashioned haircut, or just shave the nut. Now you've got Mullets are pretty cool, but they're pretty badass at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Or a mohawk or something like that. But all these fancy things now the boys are getting with the sideburns coming down, the hair, and all this kind of garbage going on. No. They're hairdresser jobs. Hairdresser jobs for the soy boys. Just for the real men. Short back and sides are shaved on the top, please. Thank you very much. Well done, Ray. You're absolutely spot on. Get a haircut from somebody that's not tried, tested and trusted. Go straight home. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Check out the damage as soon as you get home and look in that mirror, and you can decide whether, with a calendar in front of you, when is going to be the safest day for you to show your face in public. You're probably going to have to take days off work sick because you're scundered by the way they've absolutely mullered your hairdo. But that's it. Great advice, Ray. Thanks very much. The link to the original video, as always, will be in the description section below. Please check it out as always. Don't forget our Patreon account and all that kind of stuff is down there. Also, if you'd like a personalised video request and shout out, please check that out, or simply join the channel as a member, like Dragon Lady has, and get your requests through that way too. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share, and put the bell on. Thank you very much for choosing this video to watch. It is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you all soon. Toodaloo now. Au revoir.